Welcome to the House of Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Rated Nation News today. I am your host and your resident tribal chief of Rated Nation, Hammer.
Acknowledge me.
Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday wherever you guys are at. Before we go any further, y'all know the routine. Those coming on in, let me learn you real quick. Smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. A lot to pack in within this next hour, and a bit of a surprise during this live as well. But yeah, it's happened. I don't think anybody saw this coming. This realistically feels like a kick in the dick. And I'm not apologetic when I say that. That's exactly how it feels right now. Ben Johnson, yesterday, it was announced that he is the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Whole bunch of different stories have come out. A whole bunch of these different reports. And, you know, a lot of the times you can't take the stuff that's said when it comes from the media seriously. There was one that was out there. Well, the Raiders dodged a bullet. And this is somebody within, allegedly, this is somebody that is within the Lions organization, that the Raiders dodged a bullet. And this could have been Josh McDaniels 2.0. Whatever. Like I said, I do not know how accurate that is. Shit happens, and this is the result. People want to twist shit around and cause a whole new narrative and try to take shots at this guy because he took a job elsewhere. It is what it is. Let's do a quick roll call before we go any further. Trey B, Anthony, Dominique 5, Johnny Kicknuts, what's good, bro? Cameron Moses, Jay Raider, Gary Terry, E. Lee, Albert Garcia, Sacktown, Brother Raider, Jason 619, what's good, bro? Ben Bad, Ty Davis, L.S. Damaha? I don't know. My Spanish is terrible. Can't Get Right, what's good? Solomon, Jigga, Steve. I see a lot of more people coming in right now. Anthony, Sports Talk with G. The Raiders didn't have a legit. Okay. Johnny Solorio, what's good, man? Resplendent Raider. I think we got a hold of everybody. Demented Raider, I definitely haven't seen you in here in a minute. Salute. Tony Brown, Raider Mike. I think I got everybody so far. Salute to the 87 and growing that are coming in here right now. Smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush a bell. So yeah, you guys saw the thumbnail. I know it was a play on words, but I couldn't resist. The Raiders are ready to compete. See what I did there? So now we enter plan B in Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll has an extensive resume. Dude is actually set to be 74 years old, like right around the conclusion of week 1 of this coming season. Recently was with the Seattle Seahawks. He was with the Seahawks for 13 years up until after the 2023-2024 season. He had not coached last year. Before that, he was with USC from 2001 to 2009. Won a couple of national championships, and my Longhorns handled business in 2025 against Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, and the rest of those guys in that national championship. So good times. But again, an extensive career, more of a defensive-minded coach, which is something that I'm like very, very nervous about at this point in time. But at the same time, we don't have a quarterback either, right? So it's something to think about. But we also have to talk about the counterpart, the potential GM. Reports are out there right now. The New York Jets may end up with the GM that we talked about on Sunday, and Lance Newmark. He was previously interviewed by the New York Jets, and it looks like you're getting that pairing from Detroit with Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, and former Detroit Lions front office worker. That's the best way I'm going to put it, because the dude was a jack of all trades when he was with Detroit for the 26 years he was there. And now he's the assistant GM with Washington and Lance Newmark. It looks like Lance Newmark and Aaron Glenn are going to be the pairing there with the New York Jets. They're slated to do the second interview. I believe the interviews are supposed to be done today. So that should probably break in the coming hours. So now we have another plan, and this plan is a guy that has a very close relationship with our minority owner, Tom Brady, and John Spytek. He currently serves as the assistant general manager for the Tampa Bay Bucks. He actually was at Michigan when Tom Brady was there, and was one of the guys that actually brought Tom Brady to Tampa Bay, and then the rest is history with his career in Tampa Bay. So I like the move. We know the type of guys that Spytek has been around. He's been in the league, another guy with a lot of experience, over 21 years in the NFL. He had spent 2 seasons as the vice president of player personnel, and now is the assistant GM in Tampa. In Tampa. Waiting to see how this plays out. Like, again, you talk about some of the things that he's done, some of the moves that he was involved in, including the extension of Baker Mayfield for that 3-year, $100 million deal, the extensions of Antoine Winfield Jr., the extension of Hall of Fame first ballot. I don't care what anybody says. I definitely believe is a Hall of Fame first ballot wide receiver on Mike Evans. Like, they're able to navigate the salary cap the right way. Definitely a guy we should definitely have in here that can make those conscious football decisions. But the thing that I'm thinking about right now in terms of having Carroll here as our head coach, and again, being a defensive minded coach, are we looking at a quarterback in the first round? That is a huge, huge thing that's going through my mind right now. Are we taking a quarterback? Is there going to be a quarterback there with the 6th overall pick that we have in this year's draft? Are we going to try to move back into the first round and try to get our quarterback, whether it being Jackson Dart, whether it being Jalen Milroe? Those are the next 2 guys that are on this list right now when it comes to the draft prospects for this upcoming draft. Those round out your top 4. Those round out your top 4. I need to mute this because my phone is going crazy right now. Let me see if I'm missing. He took Bears over Vegas, likes playing in snow. Get him a slate. Good Lord. He's beaten Reed, Harbaugh, and Peyton before. He has a winning record with Super Bowl win and extensive experience. Been there, done that. There you go. I like that. What about Freeman or Kingsbury? So Kingsbury, and Gary, I'm glad you asked that because it was something that I had actually talked about off air, actually, over those last 2 days. And reports are out there, and they are very, very accurate. There have been teams that have shown interest in offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury has denied doing any of those interviews, as Washington is still in the playoffs and they are heading to the NFC Championship to face the Philadelphia Eagles this weekend. So until their season's done, he's not taking interviews, which I don't know if that's going to hurt him in the long run. Would love Liam Cohen with Spytek. Gary, I've talked about that as well. Again, these are conversations. It's funny you guys bring these up, and these are conversations that I've had off air. And Cohen, I would not mind having, and it's crazy to even bring up those 2 names as you just did. Kingsbury and Cohen were guys that we wanted in the building last year as offensive coordinators. You see what both of their offenses have done this year. You see what Kingsbury's offense is still doing as they're still in the postseason right now. Very high octane, very high scoring offenses. I wouldn't mind having either one. If Spytek can find a way to maybe even get Cohen to come here still as an offensive coordinator, I'd 1,000% be here for it. Absolutely. Shout out to Rorschach, one of our new mods in the building. Your info is on point, family. Thank you for your content. Is Cohen and Baltimore's OC still in play? Monken, I have not heard anything about in the last week, so I'm assuming he's still available. And look, their season is over as well. Could you bring in Pete Carroll and bring in Monken as a offensive coordinator? That's a possibility as well. I wouldn't mind that. Those are the names that I would not mind. Like, those are names I would absolutely, I'm saying I don't mind, but those 3 guys right there are names that should be on a lot of teams' priority lists that are looking for these coordinator positions, if not head coaches. And Monken, I talked about Monken a couple of weeks ago, and I look from the standpoint with what he has done with Baltimore's offense, what he has done with Lamar Jackson, I feel like when it comes to Baltimore, the one thing that they're missing right now when it comes to that offense, yeah, you have both your tight ends involved quite heavily. Obviously, the run game is solid with Justice Hill and Derrick Henry. I still don't look at this receiver as a true number one in Zay Flowers, and it's no disrespect in any way, shape, or form. But I feel if they had a true number one, that they would blow the top off the offense even more, having that type of high-powered weapon. T. Higgins could be a guy that potentially, if Cincinnati doesn't find a way to try to keep him, the Ravens could be a team that's in the hunt during the free agency period this coming spring, that the Ravens could be looking to acquire T. Higgins. No thank you to Kingsbury. Ben Bow, why no to Kingsbury? Like, not even as an offensive coordinator. I'm not talking about him as a... I'm not talking about him as a head coach right now. I'm talking about him as an offensive coordinator. Why would you say no to Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator? Raiders will have to move up to get a QB. It's money. Again, this is something that we are doing this a bit prematurely right now. You still have the Senior Bowl. You still have the Combine. Right after the Combine is where you're going to see a lot of moving and shaking across draft boards and projection-wise where these players ultimately will be. We saw this last year. I remember we did a mock draft before the Combine, and literally a day after the Combine, like when the Combine was completely concluded, the draft chart was all over the fucking place. So we have to take that in consideration. We have to go through those two parts right now of the offseason and see ultimately where these guys can sit. There's different rumblings around there right now. I heard a mock draft earlier today where Cam could ultimately be going number 2. I'm sorry, not Cam. Shador could be potentially going number 2, but who's to say that he wants to? Well, no. Let me go back. It was showing him as the number 1 overall going to Tennessee. Cleveland would not be taking a quarterback. They would, in fact, be taking Travis Hunter instead. And then it looked like Cam could potentially fall to the Giants if that's the Giants' guy. Now, you look at last year with the New York Football Giants, there were a lot of rumors, there were a lot of rumblings for the longest time that they were practically dead set on J.J. McCarthy, and they did not take J.J. McCarthy. The Minnesota Vikings did. They went and took Malik Neighbors instead. So, again, anything is possible right now. This is really all over the place as we approach these next steps, as we get closer to the NFL draft, but we will have to wait and see. Again, the AFC and NFC championship games are locked in. I know everything ended on Sunday. I was not on yesterday, so we're going to talk about everything while we're here. The Chiefs will be hosting the Buffalo Bills in Kansas City. I do think that Buffalo has to get the best of them and has to beat them so we can just kill all this noise and not even hear three-peat ever again. I talked about that game with Houston and the Chiefs. Even the commentators are finally coming out and saying what they truly feel and what they're seeing on the field in terms of the refs and these bad calls, all these calls in favor of Kansas City. Hopefully, Bills handle their business. There shouldn't be a need of an extra part or an extra hand for the Chiefs. They handle their business and they move on to the Super Bowl. And on the NFC side of things, you have a battle in the NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be going against Jaden Daniels, the soon-to-be Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the Washington Commanders. They split the series in the regular season at 1 apiece. I'm very intrigued to see this game. I want to see if it's going to be a high-powered matchup, a high-volume scoring game like Detroit and Washington was, but we shall see. Salute to the over 250 we have in the room right now. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell. That's a low-key name. Brady was talking about being friends with Cliff for 20 years during the Lions-Commanders game. It's a name to think about. I didn't see where Ben said he was objective or why he was objecting to it. His team starts losing towards the end of the season. If you're talking about him as an offensive coordinator, Washington has won 7 straight games. And when it comes to the head coaching thing, you can't put blame on him with the Cardinals organization. The Cardinals organization has been bad. Very, very bad for a very, very long time. And Kyler Murray just didn't have his head in the game as a rookie either. You cannot put the blame on Cliff Kingsbury for that. And we've talked about this before. Yeah, coaches get fired, right? Is all the blame put on them? Yeah, at times should it be? Not necessarily. You got a guy in the first round. You got a guy in the first round like Kyler Murray. You expect big things, but I've said this time and time again. First round, realistically to me, any round, but really the first round, you're taking a chance. It's a huge gamble to draft a guy. You think that he's ready and you want to throw him to the wolves instead of developing him. There have been teams that have drafted these quarterbacks in the first round and gave them a year, maybe 2, let them develop behind a starting quarterback, and then you see what they're capable of. Others have been thrown to the wolves, and when they've been thrown to the wolves, the shit has not panned out for many. Jaden Daniels, on the other hand, we see what the hell this kid has done. Definitely a very special talent. CJ Stroud as well. 2 straight years in the playoffs for the Houston Texans. I've talked about that blueprint, and Wasted has had to correct me on it. It's not just the Texans blueprint. It is the blueprint for a successful team. You draft a young quarterback. You build that team with veterans around him and let everything take care of itself. It seems to work, right? Let's see. Why in the hell would Kingsbury leave a job with the best young quarterback to go to the Raiders with nothing but a tight end? Because anything is possible at this point in time. I would hire Cliff in a heartbeat and sign Fields and draft a quarterback in the first or second round. So Dominique 5, here's another conversation that I've had off air, and salute to you. This was actually, it's funny because I didn't get a chance to watch Graf and Wasted's live, and salute to Graf. Phenomenal show this afternoon with Long Island's own and our running back, Dylan Lauby. Salute, salute, salute. It was a phenomenal show. And salute to Jojo Binks. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. In terms of Fields, and again, Graf and Wasted, actually, I was talking to Graf last night, and it was something that he mentioned, because I was like, look, being a defensive-minded coach and Pete Carroll, I don't see why we just signed Justin Fields free agency, because again, we may end up just getting a defensive player with this first overall pick. And he was like, yo, we said the same exact thing. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to watch that show yesterday. I haven't watched it yet today either. So that shit had me dying. I'm like, yo, we really are, a lot of us are on the same page when it comes to the things that we talk about. And I know for some of you guys, it's just like, yo, he just said the same thing as this one. No, great minds think alike. If it looks or sounds like it was somebody biting off of somebody else, then obviously that's a problem. But a lot of the times, and me and Wasted more than any others, there's a lot of times when we're on the same page with a lot of the things that we talk about, a lot of things that we think about in terms of the type of decision making that should be made for our organization moving forward. It's crazy that he even told me that last night. Brady had Spytek in New England to help him win Super Bowls. Hopefully Spytek can help us. Spytek was also the guy that helped bring Brady to Tampa. So again, anything is possible right now. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking about maybe doing a mock draft with you guys today. It's just like thinking about this. And again, we all had our hopes up for this, right? And again, it's a straight kick in the dick. Ben Johnson now going to Chicago. It is what it is. Salute to the almost 300 we have in here right now. You can't pass up a Carter again in the first round. And this is where, again, like I said, we might have to do a mock, and we're gonna go over this. But the interviews lined up are so weak, man. Bunch of retread defensive guys. I want to see, because I did have something that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention in terms of this, and I want to see what you guys think. I got to see if I can find it in my notes. So this is a conversation that I had off air with a couple of my guys last night, and it was like, in a sense, because this is another thing that I've thought about. Last year, we had a guy that had no head coaching experience, right? And didn't even go through the proper channels or the coaching tree and was made the head coach in Antonio Pierce, right? You have a guy like Ben Johnson, that would be his first gig. Granted, he was an offensive coordinator, but it'd be his first year as a head coach in the NFL. We've seen the movie before, and we've seen what has happened, right? So I'm looking at it from a standpoint, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I don't take anything personally, and this right here, we're family. We can have these discussions. As plan B being Pete Carroll, maybe it's something that we need. Created the winning culture in Seattle, right? Has won a Super Bowl. He's won college football championships, right? His track record, it speaks for itself. His track record speaks for itself. I know for people, they look at it, oh, he's old as hell. But maybe not having Ben Johnson here is kind of a godsend as well. Because we could potentially continue to be going through the growing pains that we've gone through these last couple of years under these head coaches. And you heard me say it before. There's an article that was out there. And again, I believe that this is alleged. I believe it's realistically, I think it's bullshit. But allegedly, somebody in the organization says that the Raiders dodged a bullet. Not in our organization. Let me backtrack. Somebody within the Lions organization said that the Raiders dodged a bullet, that it would probably be history repeating itself, where Ben Johnson would potentially be a Josh McDaniels 2.0. So let me get back to this. And I'm thinking about, this is from the standpoint of a coaching staff. Now, you just heard me mention Todd Monken. I mentioned Liam Cohn. I mentioned Cliff Kingsbury, right? You could look at some other guys that are established offensive coordinators that can come here and join Pete Carroll. Offensive coordinator number one that could potentially be here with Pete Carroll, a guy that's had the experience, a guy that his name has been mentioned amongst you guys, amongst me, amongst my brothers in Mount Shieldmore, Byron Leftwich. What would you guys think about Byron Leftwich being our next offensive coordinator? I will get to those that are super chatting as well. But what would you guys think about that as an offensive coordinator? You can have... It's... Again, there's no guarantees in terms of Ben Johnson coming in here and being successful right away. I know a lot of people are like, I didn't want Ben Johnson. Or now all of a sudden people are like, oh, I didn't want Ben Johnson anyways. I'm not here to come at you about that either. Again, shit happened. He ain't here. It's not something that we have to harp on because we didn't get the chance. I think that was it, Dominique 5, and that's why I didn't want to say anything, because when I read it, I just shook my head and I'm just like, that has to be bullshit. No disrespect, but it had to be bullshit. SK Raider, I think we do actually. And salute to you on the $2.
Holla, city of squalor.
I feel like I missed one. Maybe I didn't. There is another one right here. Shout out to James Lillard on the $5.
Holla, city of squalor.
Ben Johnson in Chicago was a done deal. Raiders were only in it to drive up the contract price. Sounds about right. I was on Lions post 6 days ago saying the same thing. Let me see. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Joan. Thank you guys for becoming new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. And we got over 350 in the building right now. Let's go. He was asked this year. I've been wanting Leftwich's OC. Okay. I would be for it. Plus no. I'm not even touching that one. Because that should have nothing to do with this conversation right now. Pete Carroll, we're in the same boat as Commanders last year. So, Steve, how does that make you feel? Shout out to Zon. Let's go, bro. Leftwich has OC with Brady and Tim. Yep. So do you think that this is a grab? Do you think that this is another guy? Like, look, Brady has the relationships, right? Spytek, Byron Leftwich. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you bring those guys on board? Pete Carroll is our guy, and Pete and Tom have these discussions. If you're in Pete Carroll's shoes, are you on board for taking these two guys as your GM and John Spytek? Are you good with taking Byron Leftwich as your offensive coordinator? Thumbs up, thumbs down. That's all I'm asking for here. And another name to think about is Chris Richard, who is a defensive coordinator with Pete Carroll as well. You bring him in, or is there another guy that you have in mind as a defensive coordinator? We know Rob Leonard, the Raiders have blocked any interviews. Do you think they keep him and promote him to defensive coordinator? Like, are you guys on board for this? I'm sorry. Like, this chat is actually like slow. And then I have it over here and it's moving up. So I see a lot of thumbs up right now. No one really excites me of all the head coach candidates, but if you're going with experience, it's Pete Carroll, but he has to bring in his successor. I like that. I really like that. Rorschach, definitely just nailed that one. So I see I'm the Pavi, aka Can't Get Right. He says no. Foxdale says no. Other people are giving thumbs up to that. Hammer, when should we expect a head coach to be hired? Salute Oos. I don't know. I haven't seen any rumblings today. I haven't seen anything put out there today. I have not. So if Pete Carroll comes here, he's drafting Genty. Why do you think that? Put it in the chat. Why do you think that? Shane Waldron was the offensive coordinator 2021 to 2023, and Waldron was another guy that we had on our wish list last year. Rob Leonard with thumbs up. Sounds like a plan. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but successors never pan out. Hammer, having Carroll mentor and OC puts us right back in the same situation. It only prolongs the issue. Let me look over here. I'm sorry, because it's running. Like, the screen is flying up right now. We say there's no guarantees. Offensive coordinator becomes good. Head coach. So Carroll changed that. It all varies. That's honestly like that's really the only thing I can say to you. It varies, but also like get the experience. Get the experience and like learn a system. Stay in a place for several years, and ultimately it's up to the GM. It's up to the head coach. I'm sorry, not the head coach. GM, it's up to the owner. Like, do you think this guy is going to make for a good head coach? We have to wait and see. Do I think that Tom Brady, if this situation happens, all right? Talking about Waldron right now, so Waldron is another name we can throw in the hat. I'm talking about Byron Leftwich, another name that could be thrown in the hat. But again, you see the relationship between Brady and Leftwich, right? The relationship between the three of them in terms of Leftwich, Spytek, Brady, right? Who's to say that Pete Carroll does do his years and is ready to retire? If Byron Leftwich is in fact the OC, who's to say that Brady and Spytek are like, yeah, you're going to be the next head coach for us? And it's like, I'm looking at it from the standpoint as well. Like, look, who's to say that Carroll doesn't leave us in a better place than where we are right now when he's ready to retire? And there's a successor, somebody that has been here the entire time with him, that we couldn't ultimately make the successor to him and leave us in a better place than we are right now. I think it's a possibility. He'll be 74. He'll be 74 right after pretty much the conclusion of week 1. Pete loves to run the ball. It'll be his Marshawn. Okay. I'd choose Kingsbury or Monken and snatch Mike LaFleur from the ring. And I feel like I've not seen LaFleur's name tied to us. I would get Dion instead of Pete. At least Dion guarantees us franchise QB, his son and Dion. See, Dominique, I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't want to be that person right now. Cohen, Leftwich, Fields, Dart. So you're talking about Liam Cohen as the head coach, Byron Leftwich as an offensive coordinator. Resplendent, I like that. That would be incredibly interesting. McCarthy and Carroll are the best options out there, honestly. Yeah, I am still. There's two other teams that are out there as well looking, and I'm talking about the Saints and the Jags. Again, the Saints, I feel like everybody's running from because of the cap hell that they're in. I could see McCarthy potentially going to Jacksonville. I do. All the people on Colin don't realize he isn't on the interview list. Yet we wanted him last year as an OC. That's crazy, right? I'd want to bring Pete Carroll on board if for no other reason than to quit talking about Russell Wilson being our quarterback. I brought that up to Graf's attention. We were on the phone yesterday, and I was like, what about a reuniting? He's like, nope, because Carroll was the one to distance himself from Russell Wilson. So I'm like, all right, makes sense. We good. Oh, let's not bring that one up. And Brian Johnson and T. Martin are the best we can get at OC. We shall see. Why not an outside the box, but inside of the building of Rob Leonard as a head coach? He's a decade of coaching experience in the NFL. I don't know why it's not something that has been brought to the attention of them or something that they haven't considered doing. Because again, coordinator, right? He worked his way up. I don't know why they haven't considered that. And for those that don't know, Rob Ryan is gone. He is now the linebackers coach at USC. Again, congratulations to him. He will be missed. Like I said, that family, there's some wild ones, but they definitely have an energy. And speaking about the Ryan brothers, imagine this, guys. I know it's off topic because this is non-Raider right here. You're looking at Aaron Glenn going to the New York Jets as the next defensive coordinator. Can you imagine how crazy it would be if you have Dan Campbell as a head coach with Detroit and he brings in Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator? That would be some crazy ass shit. Fucking Dan Campbell would be over there biting on kneecaps while Rex Ryan's over there sucking on toes. Kingsbury would be nice. Carroll Leftwich as OC and get him a few years under his belt in the Raiders organization and then step up as head coach when Carroll hangs him up. King 13. Thank you. No, I'm talking about Dan Campbell and Rex Ryan. Just imagine that shit. I would be done. I'm going to take a pause. A pause for the cause. I almost did it the wrong way. I'm going to take a pause for the cause right now. I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I got this afternoon, and I was completely outdone, completely blown away, but you guys are really going to enjoy this. And I want to give a huge shout out to Brandon Curtis. He sent a care package that I just received today. You guys are going to lose your minds when I show you the stuff that he gifted me. So give me 2 seconds. You know I hate the dead air, but give me a minute, guys. And we're going to clip this part of this live. We have to post this out. But give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go one by one. I don't know if you guys can hear me all that well. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Obviously, I'm going to be stepping away from the mic. But give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know that you guys can still hear me. Because I'm going to have to do this one by one. I might just, you know what? Make it easier. God. Yeah, this is... I'm glad this chair is as big as it is. No diddy, if necessary. I'm going to move this chair. I'm going to just show you guys each and every single one of these that I just got. We got a Dodgers jersey. Signed by Gary Sheffield. There's one. We have a couple, guys, so you got to bear with me right now. One of our guys, and hopefully he's back this coming season. Coons! One of my favorite linebackers, because I definitely had the same type of energy when I played. I definitely miss him with us. Scary Perry. Here. I'll do it this way. A dude who's another one that's not with us anymore and actually just broke his arm in the divisional round. The Pitbull himself. The Pitbull puppy himself. You guys have known that I'm not one for the white jerseys, right? But can't go wrong with this one. Got the Jacoby. Dude's got a leg and definitely one of my favorite special team players ever. Got that AJ Cole. And some ones, these are not Raider ones. These are not Raider ones, but you guys know who is my favorite college football team. Just put it in the chat, because we're not done. We still have a few more. This one is insane. I still can't get over this one. Earl Campbell, y'all. The GOAT. Ah! Definitely a special one. We got two more. Another hook'em. Ladies and gentlemen, our favorite pothead, Ricky Williams. And we got one more. Now, you guys heard me talk about this before. You guys heard me talk about it before in terms of Pete Carroll and 2005 at USC when they took on my Longhorns in the national championship. Vince Young. So again, Brandon, thank you so much. And another amazing gift from you guys. I definitely need to get these framed. I still need to get Taino's framed as well. I think you're going to see a whole shrine of jerseys in the background, and maybe we don't need to use a green screen anymore. Like, it's insane. Again, salute to Brandon Curtis from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Definitely means a lot. Shout out to Joe Arrigo. He's in the building. Salute, my guy. Josh is signing with New England. Oh, McDaniels? We knew that. If that's who you're talking about, that we knew that. We knew that was happening. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see if I'm missing anything here. That one was painful. That was hands down one of the most exciting games I ever watched. Man, I'll never forget. I stayed up the whole night watching it. Was bouncing up and down. I had to go to work like 3 hours afterwards. It was insane. Hammer, now that Ben is in Chi-Town, why don't we promote Champ Kelly to GM? Steven Martinez, that's a great question, and I wish I had an answer, but I don't. It's been another name that I have thought about. I'm like, dude is already in the building. He's been there for 3 years now. Why is he not the next GM? We never heard Louis Riddick's name being brought up this time around with our Raiders. I don't know. Bill Cowher's not coming out of retirement, Creeper. He's not coming out of retirement. He's not coming out of retirement. McDaniels is an excellent offensive coordinator. Oh God, can we not do that right now? Y'all are. Why? Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to go there? We've already been on for 40 minutes. I thought we were on longer than that. If you haven't already, especially the newcomers in here, because we are going up. I think we got 15 new subscribers during this live today. I appreciate each and every single one of you new folks. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the nation. Smash some thumbs. Hammer that sub. Crush the bell, y'all. Yo, Johnny, stop. Stop it. He's not a head coach, but he's a great OC. Can't deny that. Okay. I'll give him that. No diddy. That's fine. Appreciate the GOAT rated content, my dude. Thank you. Time to comment. Did you see, Joe, did you see the title? I know you're just coming in. Did you see the title? Raiders ready to compete? Come on, bro. Salute to you. Sergio and Ethan's food and toy reviews. Pete Carroll time. Should I put, you know what, let's do this. I'm gonna create a poll. Start a poll, and it's gonna be a simple yes or no. All right, let's share in the chat for you guys. Pete Carroll, Raiders head coach, simple yes or no. I wish it would let me expand this shit because it's already being, I'm looking, I see the yes, I can't see the no, but we're at 62 to, I'm gonna leave this up for a couple of minutes. Bill Cowher's I already talked about that. I'm calling it Pete for head coach and Solid for defensive coordinator. Solid just got, I'm pretty sure that he was just offered another interview within the last day or two. Do you think a defensive-minded head coach could be complicated if we don't find that very good offensive coordinator, play caller scheme, and QB development? Do you think we trade for a vet? I think we may potentially because, again, a defensive-minded coach like Pete Carroll, I'm thinking that we end up drafting a defensive player. I think we potentially sign Justin Fields in free agency. I do. What do you think about Chip Kelly or Brian Hartline, Ohio State receivers coach as OC? Chip Kelly, I still question to this day. I think he's best fit in college football. Check me out. Khalil, Crosby, Wilkins, and Kuntz. If we re-sign with Stafford as QB1 and Carroll or Kingsbury. Stafford is on the fence right now, contemplating retirement. I don't know what it would cost to bring Stafford to Vegas. He said McDummy, and I have to do this now. McDummy back to New England.
Yeah.
Had to do it. Sorry. Actually, Mick.
Dummy. Yeah.
There you go. Isaiah, it's all good. We're not done yet. Chip Kelly is about to get the bag to stay at Ohio State. Pete is too old. Why do we gotta... Agism, y'all. Agism. Hold on. We do got a call, though. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me know you can hear it, too. Yo,
what's good?
Yo, guys, Joe is in on the vault line.
Yeah, I figure I'll call. I missed the first part. Was in a meeting, so figure I'll call in. Look, can everybody hear me? That's the question.
Thumbs up, y'all. Can you hear him, please?
That's the normal routine, right?
Yep, because we know how this shit works.
Yeah.
Tim Chubb said, Joe, tell me something good. I'm crushed. So, shout out to CGR. He said, Joe Condom, hat chatterbox. Ah!
I did what? No, I ain't wearing the hat right now.
And David Zahn said he's currently upset with Joe again.
Why are you upset with me again? Hey, look.
Because of the news that you said that I guess Ben Johnson would be the head coach by the end of the week.
No, I said he'll have a decision by the end of the week. And I said the only way Ben Johnson doesn't take the Raiders job is if Ben Johnson doesn't want the Raiders job.
Which has been said, and it's been said a few times, So,
I mean, look, if I'm getting information, Vic is getting information, Vinny's getting the information. Paul's getting the information. Tayshawn's getting the people that are around the team are getting the same information. It is what it is. You can't be mad at the senders of the message or the deliverers of the message. You just have to suck it up and move on. The easy pivot is Pete Carroll. Pete, from all intents and purposes, from what everybody that I've talked to with a team or the team in the NFL circles that I'm in, they all think it's Pete's job. And I'm gonna give it some names for potential coordinators. Like I know we talked about it in our text a little bit yesterday, but Byron Leftwich.
We just talked about him, and a lot of people actually like that idea.
Okay, so that would probably be, again, there's a tie to Tom Brady, younger coach that probably will be a head coach. He should be a head coach already. He got screwed out of the Jacksonville gig. This could be a guy that would make an easy transition when it is time for Pete to retire. Pete's 73 going on 74. Pete is energetic. Pete is the only negative about Pete Carroll is his age. That's not a problem, to be honest with you, because he wins everywhere he goes. The next name I would watch would be a D coordinator, would be Chris Richard. Now, if you remember Chris Richard, he was I think it was Dallas's D coordinator at one point. I want to say he was Seattle's at one point. Another young guy who a lot of people had a fast track on to get to a head coaching position just a few years ago. So he played for Pete at USC. Another guy to keep an eye on potentially is Ken Norton coming back to the Raiders. Everywhere Pete is, Ken is there too. You go to Pete at USC. His first hire when he went to Seattle was Ken Norton. So Ken did leave there, and I think I know he went back down to UCLA where he played, and now he's in DC with the Commanders. But Ken Norton could be a name to watch to come in potentially as a D coordinator because he has done it before, but more than likely the linebacker coach. So if you just start connecting little dots, you start seeing where maybe Pete is. Again, I would say within the next 48 hours, you'll have an answer with that. Spytek will probably be the guy that they're going to target as their GM. I would say at this point, I think Newmark is the guy who
Newmark looks like he's going to the Jets with Aaron Glenn.
Jets, yeah. He'll go to the Jets, and I think at this point, you'll probably see Spytek, which is a Brady guy, obviously, and that's a direct pipeline. So, I mean, if you just take out any emotion, and I know it's hard to do when you're a fan, you take any emotion out of it. Does it suck? Well, and the Raiders are offering well over $90 million on a 6-year deal. Yes, it does suck that he would decline that money, and it goes down to what happened Saturday night. Saturday night, he watched the team that he turned down last year to be their head coach with the quarterback that he would have been coaching carve up a defense. And I think at that point when he realized I need to go somewhere where the quarterback at least is a year established or we're still young and we can go on and try to compete right away. Plus, again, you look at the AFC West, you got Harbaugh, you got Reed and Peyton, who, I mean, I think Peyton is I personally, it's whatever. But or you can go in the NFC North. It's still a tough division, but you know it. You play Green Bay's defense twice a year. You play Brian Flores and that Viking defense twice a year, and you know what you've gone against the Lion defense every day in practice for the last 2 years. So you know the lay of the land. You probably have a better feel as a head coach to kind of maneuver in that division. So for him, Caleb Williams, no familiarity with the division, not having to move too far. I think those are all pluses with the Raiders. Obviously, it's money. Obviously, there's probably, believe it or not, more stability than in Chicago. And I know it sounds weird to say, but more stability there and your ability to choose your quarterback potentially. So, and Hammer, you said something before I called that I thought was interesting. Look, guys, I'll say this, and this is the way I'm going to frame this, and you guys can take this the way that you want to take it. I think this offseason, the direction of the offseason we'll know fairly quickly, and it's going to be Max Crosby. If the Raiders, because there's no guaranteed money left on his deal,
pay me.
Sorry.
there's gonna be a conversation where he wants an extension. If the Raiders are respectful and give a contract that is worthy of his production and how much he's valued, I think he ends up staying. I think if he feels that his value is higher and the Raiders come with a low ball offer, it would not surprise me one bit if they entertain trade offers for him, potentially to obtain another number one pick or another pick in the first round. And that way it enables you to maybe at that sixth spot, you draft Will Johnson from Michigan, or you draft Abdul from Penn State if he's available, and then come back wherever that other number one pick is and maybe take Jackson Dart, who, and I'll say this now on what's today's date, January what, the 16th or
21st.
21st. I'll say right now, for me, the best quarterback in this draft is Jackson Dart. And that's my early observations. And I think that's going to piss some people off, and that's going to have people kind of go, what the hell? I firmly believe it. And I wasn't that far off last year around this time when, remember, Hammer, we said J.J. McCarthy will be a top 10 pick, a guy probably going to maybe in the top 5. He went, 6 last year?
Yep.
So, this year it's Jackson Dart. I think he's going a lot higher than what people think. And he may, depending on what he does, slip into the top 10 and maybe the option at number 6. You never know. But I also would not expect Russell Wilson to be here because him and Pete do not get along.
Nope. And I talked about that a little earlier. I'm like, Pete was the one to distance himself from Russell Wilson. That's why I'm thinking from the standpoint, if Pete Carroll is the next head coach, I'm looking at it from a standpoint that we probably are going to draft a defensive player in the first round. And I think it might be best for us to sign in free agency Justin Fields.
You know what? I'm not on board with Fields. And the reason being is I really believe, and I think that Pete knows you probably want a dual threat guy, but Russell Wilson was a guy that, you know as well as I do, early in his career, he was more of a passer and ran out of necessity, or when it was schemed to do that, he wasn't a run first quarterback. I definitely think that in this case, he's going to want to have something similar, or a guy that can sit back and go ahead and throw the ball. I really, from just my estimate, I think that it's going to be maybe another. I mean, it could be another veteran guy that comes in, or again, he says, you know what? Okay, we can run with O'Connell to start the year and get to this young guys ready, or we draft the young guy and just don't. Hey, you know what? So go to the Wolves right now. Let's get to work. I think I do expect them to build from the inside out this offseason. And you know what? If they don't like what's there at 6, because I mean, just remember, Witherspoon was Pete's last first round pick in Seattle, and that's the corner from Illinois.
Yep.
So Pete doesn't have a problem taking a corner early, and Will Johnson has got a lot of traits that remind people of a person that was wearing the maize in blue and ended up going to Oakland. He's not as physical as what Charles Woodson was, but that ball in the air and his playmaking skills and his cover ability, there's a lot to like about him. So I could see Pete going that direction if he is, guys, assuming that Pete is the guy, and then also the Michigan connection with Spytek, if he's the GM. It just things just seem to be aligned for this to happen. And and let's be real, Hammer. I'll ask you this, and I'll ask everybody that's inside Hammer's house right now. If it's not Pete Carroll, who the hell is it going to be? Because the fallback options, it's not going to be Salah. Salah's not coming here as a defensive coordinator. He's going to be the highest paid defensive coordinator when he goes back to the 49ers. When he doesn't get the Jacksonville job. And he very well could get it, I think, but I think Cohen is going to land that job. He's not getting the New Orleans job. That's probably going to be Mike McCarthy at this point. Aaron Glenn will be with the Jets. So Salah's drying up. Either he goes to the 49ers and he's the highest paid defensive coordinator, or he goes back and he works with his best friend Matt LaFleur as an associate head coach. And when Hafley leaves at the end of the year to go be a head coach somewhere, he assumes the defensive coordinator role in Green Bay. I think those are the two options that he's looking at. So again, I don't foresee Salah being an option. Todd Monken, they have an interview set up, but I really don't. I think they're we want a guy that's established. That I don't think he's had a losing season, maybe one losing season his entire career as an NFL head coach. A guy that is a Hall of Fame head coach, one of only 4 people to win a college football national championship and a Super Bowl. He is a culture guy. He builds a great culture, builds a tough defense. Players love playing for him. And those that don't, other than Marshawn Lynch, those that don't like Pete Carroll, a lot of that's it's kind of hard to find those guys because most guys love Pete Carroll because Pete's a real good dude. So, and he's respected around NFL circles. So that's the other thing. You can't, and there's no guarantee. And then this for all the Ben Johnson fans out there, there's no guarantee that Ben Johnson is going to be a good NFL head coach. How many guys have been told he's going to be a great head coach? You just talked about him earlier, but Josh McDaniels, when he first got the job in Denver, everybody thought he was going to be a fantastic head coach. Brad Childers, everybody thought he'd be a fantastic head coach. Nagy, when he went to the Bears, everybody thought he'd be a great head coach. Same thing with Adam Gase, Charlie Weiss. I mean, there's so many guys that Bill O'Brien, you insert whatever coach and they're going to be great head coaches, but they fall flat on their ass. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that he's going to be a great head coach. So, pause on that, give him a couple years, just like really any coach that has earned their way to get to where they're at. Not a guy that just gets handed the keys, but a guy that has earned it. That's the best way to judge a head coach. Give him time to get into a system. And a guy like Pete, I think he comes in and what he does on defense, that D line's going to get after it. That secondary is going to get much better because Pete was a DB coach prior to being a D coordinator and a head coach. And those guys are going to be this is going to be a badass defense. And then, you let Byron Leftwich do what he does on offense and get the quarterback, the trigger man, and build around it. You're in good shape. And hey, one last thing, and I'll shut up for a minute, Hammer, because I asked the question, who would it be? Who is it that you guys would want besides Pete Carroll? But the other thing is DK Metcalf's on the block. Don't be surprised if Vegas is mentioned as a landing spot for DK Metcalf. So let's just put that in our back pocket as well. But I'm gonna shut up now, Hammer. Who do you think would be a good head coach besides if it's not Pete?
I'm looking at this chat right now, and it's just like everybody is with the ageism shit. Oh, he's too old. Da 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 da. Again, he's got a proven track record. He's won a national championship. He's won a Super Bowl. I don't understand why everybody is on this shit of no to Pete Carroll. And again, a ton of experience. I wouldn't mind it. This is our plan B right now. This is what a lot of people are putting out there right now. I think the track record speaks for itself. And again, if you get the right offensive coordinator to learn from him the next 3-4 years, and when it's time for Pete Carroll to hang it up and hopefully leave the organization in a better position than it has been these last few years than it is today, then you take that offensive coordinator and let him be the successor. Would I like for it to be a guy like Byron Leftwich? Again, the relationship between him, Brady, Spytek, I don't see why the fuck not. Monken, I don't see the Raiders. Let me rephrase that. I don't see the Ravens letting him be poached by us for the same fucking position. Not with what the Ravens have done with that offense these last few years under Monken as the offensive coordinator. If it was a head coach position, then it would be different. But I don't see the Ravens even allowing them to poach Monken as the offensive coordinator for the Raiders.
No, he wouldn't be able to leave for a lateral move. It has to be a step up, which would be head coach, or if he's not already, because I don't know what it is. If he was named the associate head coach, offensive coordinator, that technically is a step up. But yeah, I don't see him leaving Baltimore. Why would he leave that? And here's the thing: you're thinking as a fan. Let's think as a coach who's coaching now, right? Why would you leave a team with a guy who's in the running to win his third MVP, a team that just won their division and that was close to moving up and getting to it was a close game against Buffalo to play in the AFC Championship? Why would you leave that to go to the Raiders to be their offensive coordinator?
Right.
And they're picking 6. So, hey, I got to roll though. I got to take this call.
I'll talk to you, bro.
Later. I'll call you back. Bye.
Salute to Joe calling on in. Salute to the almost 400 we have in here. If you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush a bell. I'm also seeing, I'm looking at the current poll as it stands. 79% of you said yes to Pete Carroll. The other 21, well, yeah, y'all said no. You can't just say, oh, well, we'll go with the succession plan for someone and not have an idea. Jason, UNC is doing the same exact shit right now as it pertains to Bill Belichick being their next head coach. You know who his successor is? His son. Dude put together a 400-page manifesto to the board, to the athletic director, and what his plan is and pretty much what he's going to do and what he wants. He's old. Is he not? You guys some of you guys said, oh, get Belichick. Isn't Belichick like 70, 71, 72 years old? Thank you. He's 72. Come on. This ageism shit is terrible too. Seriously, somebody in the chat said it, that Pete Carroll can probably run circles around a couple of y'all. Not an insult. Fact of life. That dude is still in great shape for his age. Yeah, no one's calling Belichick old, but everybody's calling Pete Carroll old right now. Make that shit make sense. If it's Pete, I will donate $50 towards Pete's adult. Y'all too much. Y'all too much. Oh my God, Demokes, did you really go there with that shit? What about McCown as an OC if it is Pete? McCown his name is being thrown around right now. Is it with the Jets? I think his name is actually being thrown out there right now with the Jets. Pete would probably bring over both of his sons, work with them. I think we should go after Tony Romo. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap, bro. He can kill a piece of gum, that's for sure. Yep, you ain't lying. I want to say you meant McVay. McVay's not going anywhere. And I saw something before. Let me see if I can get back to this. Hold up. Because I saw something that kind of... Foxdale. Metcalf is cool, but get DeAndre Hopkins or Cooper Kupp and Stafford and Mac in 2025 compete from week 1. Again, Stafford right now is on the fence about his playing career and his future. Kupp, if I remember correctly, is set to be a free agent. DeAndre Hopkins will be a free agent as well. Mac, another one that's on the border, retirement or not. I don't know if they bring back Mac. We'll see. Salute to CGR. He just gifted 5 Raider Nation News Today memberships. For those that want to support me, support the channel, keep the lights on here. Please, the link is pinned at the very top. Salute to Tim Chubb, Demokes, Leaky, Dixon, Austin Collins. Welcome to the family, guys. Appreciate y'all. Diggs, Kupp, Godwin. Jeez, that's a lot of fucking money. Got to take that in consideration as well. $90 million in cap space because there's a nice amount. I know it's 129, but there's a certain amount. I believe it's 15 if I remember correctly. It's allocated to the draft. If I remember correctly, it's 15 mil. So technically we'll have like 114. And again, we have to think about our guy, blood, sweat, and tears. Has done everything to try to carry this team on his back in terms of Mad Max.
Fuck you, pay me.
Give that dude that guaranteed money, man. Let's keep him here. Let's keep him here a Raider for his career. The next one of you to say, get a certain head coach that has been here twice, fuck that. For those that have been saying that name in here throughout this live today,
You're a fucking idiot.
I'm tired of seeing that shit. One more time for those that keep putting that name in the chat.
You're a fucking idiot.
Stop. Go get Stafford, Cup, and McVay. It's easy, bro. What the? Yeah, okay. That's sarcasm from Torque. I see you. 27 free agents have to get signed. That's very true. We're not bringing them all back, though. AR Bowling. Let me just highlight this. And finally, I've come back to the channel, which means finally, I've come back home. Hope you is good and the nation is good. Let Tom cook. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Yo, it's Todd, stop. Stop. Martin, thank you. I wish I had that as somebody's got to do it. Somebody that watches Wasted, y'all got to clip that so I can make that another sound effect. And I still need Graph with the can't because I can't do it for shit. No retreads, period. Thank you, Harold. Thank you. Thank you. Wake me up when this is over. Oh, Lord. Crosby, 3 years, 90 million, fully guaranteed. Take or trade his ass. I like that guaranteed. I don't see why he wouldn't take it. If I remember correctly, and I stated this a couple of weeks ago, he has 2 years remaining on his current contract, so extend him another 3 years and give him more guaranteed money. Ladies and gentlemen, for Max Crosby,
Fuck you, pay me.
please pay this man. Ooh, and I like that, but I'm not highlighting it. I appreciate that, though. And salute to the 395 in here. I like that one, though. That was good. That was good. He'll change the culture and is proven. Wait, who are we talking about? Demon King. Are we talking about Pete? Are we talking about Pete here? Kid, what's good? Trap God, I'd rather shit in my hands and clap, and he's going to New England. The only person that Raiders would ever bring back is... I'm not reading that whole thing out. I don't see Deion happening. I really don't. I know it kind of gives us a chance at getting Shador, but I don't see Deion being the next head coach. I don't. Yo, yeah. Every person is throwing these stupid names that we've had before. Stop. 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 I don't know what Eddie George's track record is. Honest to God. I don't know what his track record is to be a head coach in the NFL. I don't know what his life after football has been. I thought he was modeling. Like, I'm not even being funny about that. I thought he was modeling and acting. So I don't know. Yeah, for those with the trying to relive what weren't even glory days for us,
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
stop putting those names in the chat, because the next thing is I'm going to have the mods put you in temporary timeout for like 5 to 10 minutes. That shit is annoying. Shout out to Rosetown Native 707. Bring back Spillane, Merrick, Butler. Only ones I would pay. Build through the draft and free agency. Ooh. I want Javon Holland here, bro. Holland and Merrick would be incredibly scary. Just saying. And I've talked about Palomao. I would move Palomao up in the box. He's a hybrid. You could switch back and forth with him as a safety or a linebacker. You can put yourself in situations where you come out in a formation where it looks like maybe a 4-4 and then have him drop back into coverage. I wouldn't mind that. Flores is another name that keeps getting floated around, but again, I haven't heard much on him either. Eddie George is a college football coach for HBCU like Prime did before. Oh, I did not know that. Wow. I didn't know that. We better get an O-line and free agency in the draft. Something that we've been talking about for the last 2 years, Justin Brown, but we have to, like, when it comes to free agency offensive linemen, when it comes to the draft, guards. We need an offensive coach with experience. Todd Monken, you see what he did with Lamar, plus he won national championships with Brock. Had to see. Any coach not named Pete Carroll ain't selling to Raider fans. KL, I like that. Stop with the ageism. I'm going to keep saying it. Stop, man. Stop. Pete and Sam Darnold is good too. And Stafford didn't say he was retiring yet. He said he's going to think. Yeah, I know. I know what he said. I saw the presser. He looked so defeated. And I've said this about Stafford. I really have respected his game throughout his career. I don't care where he was. The one thing about him that you can never take away is how consistent he was and how consistent his numbers have been throughout his entire career. I've always liked Matthew Stafford as a quarterback. Again, Chip Kelly, I'm very nervous about in the NFL again. I think he's best off in college. I really do. Spags was such an ass head coach, man. I'm sorry. Andy Reid is a burger away from diabetes and he's old. But again, nobody's talking about that. You guys are talking about one guy. You wouldn't even say that shit about Bill Belichick. And Belichick's over there slinging his thing on a 20-year-old. Everybody knows that, so it's not like I'm saying anything out of pocket right now, but just saying. Pete Carroll, Lincoln Riley is OC, future head coach. Pete ran more collegiate offense for Russ, and it worked. Trade up for Ooh. Again, Steve, again, seeing this, and again, we haven't gotten through two other portions of this moving forward, and I'm talking about the Senior Bowl and the Combine. The numbers, the draft stock of these players are going to shift. And a lot more than not recently, 6 overall, it has been 1A or 1B landing right there at 6 in Cam and Shador. So nothing is set in stone right now. You guys have to understand that. Cliff Kingsbury wants a mobile quarterback. I'd take Bill in a heartbeat. What are we talking about here? But nobody wants to take Pete Carroll because of his age, and he's what, a year older than Belichick? Explain that to me. Yo, Longy, I'm done. Hammer hypothetical. Carroll gets a job. He is well known with Lane Kiffin. That'll be interesting. And salute to you, bro. It's been a minute. I wouldn't mind that. You want me to sit here and say Coughlin is old? Because I was calling Coughlin a geezer like 10 years ago. I don't think either one of those guys are going to be back in the building, KL. I don't. I didn't watch the game. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if the vault line opened and nobody told me, but we do have a phone call. Let's see who this is. Raider Nation News Today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Hammer? Demon King.
Oh, shit. What's up, bro?
Nothing, man. Man, this fan base is wild, dude. I'm reading John Gruden. I'm reading all these crazy names. Pete Carroll would be a good coach for us. Is it the guy that we wanted? No, I know everybody had their heart set on Ben Johnson. And like everybody said, there's no guarantee that he would be a good head coach. I want Ben Johnson. I wanted him, Maybe he could turn some things around. But as we all said, think about it. Who are you going to choose? Aiden O'Connell or Caleb Williams? Like Graf was saying, DJ Moore or Jacoby. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah. Move on to Pete Carroll. Get us a good running game. Get us an offensive line. We'll be just fine.
Bro, thank you so much for calling in.
This fan base thinks we're going to turn it around in 1 year, and if we don't win more than 12 games, they're, fire this guy, fire that guy. Stop it. Like, this fan base is so fickle, it's unbelievable. I love the Raiders as much as everybody else. I hate to lose. I do. But possibly those couple wins cost us the guy that everybody wants. Hashtag legendary.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment that we're going to call the Voice of Reason, and that Voice of Reason tonight is Jason Hunter, aka the Demon King, because Everything he's saying, I wholeheartedly agree with. And some of y'all in this chat tonight, man, like, you know, I love y'all, but some of y'all, man, y'all need to take your meds or just stay. PSA, boys and girls, meth is a terrible drug. This shit is crazy.
And another thing too, a lot of people that are fans are a bunch of "I told you so." I told you that was going to happen. Who are you, Randy Quaid from Major League? I hate this team. I hate this team. When they start winning, all of a sudden, I told you we were going to be good.
Facts.
I told you we were going to be good.
Facts.
It's unbelievable. It drives me absolutely nuts. And then they call people like me, like others that wanted to get a better draft pick, fake Raider fans. I have this team tattooed on my body. I support this team everywhere I go. I dress up in gear for games to do this for the kids of the Raider Nation and all fan bases. I love this team. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I ain't from California. I ain't from Oakland, Las Vegas, Los Angeles. I ain't from none of that. I'm a Pennsylvania Raider fan, where I have the Steagles and I got the Squealers. My whole life. And I'm 47 years old. I've seen it all. 2016, great year. A few years ago, when we were in Cincinnati, I was there with my buddy, where Carr threw it to Zay Jones, triple covered, instead of throwing it to Jared Waller on a wheelbarrow.
There you go.
Man.
Now you're getting so much love in the chat right now. I love it. This is what we needed. This is like the breath of fresh air that everybody. We have over 400 in the chat right now. This is what a lot of you guys needed right now.
It's not about getting the love. It's about being realistic.
No, I'm saying right now
I know.
Bro, what I'm saying is right now what you're bringing right now with this call is a breath of fresh air to a lot of these people that are just acting like complete jackasses right now in the chat. No disrespect. I'm just calling it like I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah, like I love our fans. I love our fan base. We are so super passionate about this team, and I get it. I can't talk to nobody till like Wednesday when we lose. It aggravates the hell out of me. It sucks. But you know what? I want us to be better. 8-8 is not going to do it for me. I don't want to be 8-8 I don't want to be Pittsburgh and never have a losing record with a coach and go one and done in the playoffs every year. I'm not cool with that. We hoist Lombardis, not banners of divisions and none of that. I know it's been a long time. You know, the Queefs are running things, but you know what? Be better, fan base. Be better, Raider Nation. Come on now. I know we're passionate. I know, but stop being a bunch of I told you so's. We didn't get Ben Johnson. Big deal. What do you want, a medal that's because you said that we weren't going to get him? What's wrong with you? Like, do you need someone to give you that gratification? Congratulations. You were right. Awesome. What does that do for you? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Here's your sash. Here's your medal. You know what I want? I want a coach that's going to be there. I want a coach that isn't just a cheerleader, doesn't have no X's and O's, and just screaming Raiders and driving around in a 6-ball all the time. I love JP, but he was not ready to take this team by the reins. Not ready at all. He just was not. The players wanted him, and look what we got. We got a 4-13 team. Probably more. You know, I'm just spitballing, but we weren't winners. We didn't win. We beat Baltimore. And look at, they weren't even good at that time. Look what happened when they switched their defense around.
Yep.
Changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I want a quarterback. Yeah. I like Aiden O'Connell, but please, everybody, he's a backup. Please understand that. Watch football. Don't just watch Raider football. Watch football. And I am a little emotional today because my Notre Dame Fighting Irish lost last night. It sucks. It is what it is. But
I didn't even get a chance to talk to Graf about that. I'm going to hit him up a little later, but he's probably not even going to want to address that discussion.
No. But you know what? Will Howard is a damn good quarterback. I would like to draft Will Howard. I think the kid's got something. I watch college football all the time. I love college football. I know certain guys. And you know what? I'm not an expert. I'm not on ESECPN. I'm not on that. I'm not on Fox Sports where Joy Taylor is hammering every dude. I wish he kind of was. It'd be kind of cool. But I ain't on those stations. You know what I'm saying? I just go by my expertise of playing football and coaching football. You know, what I see some guys that have some stuff. Ashton Genty, I'm not a fan of Ashton Genty. The reason why is because he has too many carries. Could he turn into something? Yeah, for maybe 4 years.
We will see.
Go back and watch Cedric Benson. I've said this a bunch of times already. Cedric Benson was a top 10 running back coming out of Texas. You know, Hammer.
That's my guy.
And what happened to him? 300 carries his senior year. What happened to him? Where is he now? He's washing cars down the road from my house because I high-five him and hook him horns all the time.
Got to get him on the show.
Yeah, we got to get him on the show. Hell yeah. He could talk about the days past and the 3 years in Chicago.
Bro, let me let you go.
Everybody be better. Yes.
Let me let you go because I'm gonna try to go through this real quick, and I'm still debating on maybe doing a mock draft before we wrap this up. But always love, bro. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.
Hell yeah, Hammer. Raider Nation, Demon King out.
Later, brother. Shout out to the Demon King. I saw something that really grabbed my attention that I wanna address right now. Since we're on this ageism shit, like y'all are driving me crazy. I wonder how many of y'all on here right now lost your minds over the weekend. The TikTok was fucking banned for 12 hours. Like, where the fuck is it? Well, I'm gonna shout out AR on the $5.
Holla, city of squalor.
They acting Pete Carroll is an old guy from Family Guy. Watch if they hire him. First thing he should say is guess who? Guess who? There's another one I saw, though, that I really want to highlight because this right here is just exactly spot on. And this is where I'm like, why are y'all with this age shit? Where the fuck is it? You guys have been flooding this chat, and salute to the over 400 we have in here right now. Here we go. Shout out to the Nation's Own. Jim Harbaugh is literally having heart and hip surgeries this offseason. Now, here are the age similarities. Jim Harbaugh is 61. John is 62. You see what Jim Harbaugh looks like, right? He actually looks like the older brother. And y'all are trying to give shit about a guy that is now 73 years old. Fucking stop. Shout out to Midnight Raider King on the $10.
Holla, city of squalor.
Most of these Raiders fans truly don't understand how bad of a head coach John Gruden was. They were just in love with Chucky persona. Great at X's and O's. Head coach, he's crap. We need stability. Mic drop, a fan for 42 years. Salute to you, man. Let me catch back up to you guys in the chat. Never knew Raiders had age limit. That's what it's looking like tonight. McDaniels, yeah, we know. We talked about it, bro. Cedric Benson passed in 2019. He ain't washing cars. Hold on. Harbaugh looked like the old man from Courage the Cowardly. Courage the Cowardly Dog is my shit. I don't care what anybody says. That was truly an adult cartoon for little kids. Like, I don't care. Jackson Dart, second, and Abdul Carter. I'd like that. Hammer Bobby Wagner, a free agent. Imagine Spillane and Wagner with, oh my God. That would be intense as fuck. See you on the coaching carousel in 2 years when Carroll is gone. Oh my God. Someone said earlier, Pete Carroll's age scares me, and then go support another team. There you go. Pete looks younger than the Harbaugh. Okay. Carroll is built different. My father is 82 and can smoke a lot. Shit. I think Carroll could be a good thing. Spytek would be a very nice hire. Thank you, Alex. Somebody being another voice of reason in here. I wear my age like a badge of honor. I never thought I'd get past 30. Hit by a semi when I was 48. I'm still here, bro. Salute to you. Wagner have much left. I would say for Wagner, you probably do a 1 year deal. Honestly, I think Wagner is a 1 year deal at best. Courage the Cowardly Dog, my favorite too. Yeah, that's a shit. Pete is nearing the U.S. life expectancy. Without luck, he does. I'm glad I didn't highlight that shit. Yo, Ace. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I bet. Yeah. I'm thinking, Jason, I said it. I think it could be Byron Leftwich. I do. We're 3 months out from the draft. Every hour we don't have it. Torque, you're preaching to the choir, bro. That's why I'm hoping like this week that a deal is done. I'm hoping within the next 24 to 48 hours that we hear something. Like I'm looking at Twitter right now, and the Jets are working to finalize to hire Aaron Glenn as the head coach. We talked about it earlier. So, and this came out from Jordan Schultz about 20 minutes ago. If Aaron Glenn lands a head coaching job, keep an eye on Lions linebackers coach Kelvin Shepard as a hot name for landing a defensive coordinator role. So he could be bringing him along with him to the Jets. Stay tuned for that. Oh shit, they did the Hall of Fame votes today. This just broke 6 minutes ago for any of you guys that are baseball fans. Billy Wagner is in his 10th and final year on the ballot. Billy Wagner has been elected to the Hall of Fame. Carlos Beltran just fell short. David Wright received 8 more Hall of Fame votes than last year's and is up to 8.1% overall. He'll remain on the ballot in 2026. And again, for those that don't know, Josh McDaniels is the new offensive coordinator. He goes back to New England, joining Mike Vrabel, who's their new head coach. The Bills cut quarterback Anthony Brown from the practice squad. And I don't think there's anything else right now for us to see. Let me double check one last time. No, I think we're up to date right now with that. Salute to the 428 in the chat. If you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell. We went up another like 30 new subscribers today. So welcome, y'all. Welcome for those are the first times in here. Salah off the market yet? No, he's not. The Lions are going to promote Brunell and Shepard as offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. They aren't leaving for a bad team when they already had the job for a good team. Okay. This is the AP chat all over again. That's what it feels like. Bringing Kingsbury, him and Brady would gel together. Hammer, good seeing you, big guy. How disappointed would you be if the Jets don't? If the Raiders don't hire a coach by the end of this week? I'm not gonna be disappointed. I'm probably just gonna be a little bit more stressed out. Because like you said, days go by, this shit is gonna drag out, and we're getting closer and closer. And we need, realistically right now, and this is another way to look at it, which people are gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't think about this. You get these coaches, you get these GMs in place right now. Those guys are the ones that are going to be out there along with our scouting department, but they will be there front and center watching the Senior Bowl. They'll be out there at the combine watching. We need to get a grasp on this quick, fast, and in a hurry so they can ultimately start fucking planning for the future of this fucking organization. That's it. Thank you, Desert. And I hope the Bills wax you fucking... I hope the Bills wax you bitches this fucking weekend. I really do. I really do. Genty would be a beast, but we need to fix the line first. Yep. I don't care anymore until I see consistency and winning. It's another shit season. All right. We're going to do this. I've been back and forth about this tonight. Draft Buzz, PFF, or PFN, just put it in the chat real quick. We're going to do one. And I'm going to do it, I guess, from a standpoint that we have Pete Carroll as our head coach. Draft Buzz, PFN, or PFF. First person to put it, I'm gonna do it. Long as you said PFF, there you go. Let me get this up for you guys. We've already been on. We actually exceeded the hour. We've been on an hour and a half. So this has actually been a great show. And again, we still have over 400 people in here. I really appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. Where is it? Mock Draft Simulator. All 7. Let's get myself on the small screen. Oops, that's wrong. Oops. Hold on, guys. Sorry about this. There we go. You guys can see that clearly, right? Like, I know my head is kind of in the way, but you guys can see that pretty clearly on the screen, right? Let's do this. All right. So, Cam Ward. Oh, look, the Giants took Shador. Abdul Carter was taken second. Travis Hunter was taken fourth. Will Johnson was taken fifth. Okay. What do we have? And again, this is from a standpoint that we have Pete Carroll as our head coach, okay? I'm going to go with Graham. All right. Gabriel, Milroe, Howard, they're all there. I could wait. I'm going to go. No. He's going to need one of these. Everybody's talking about Jukins. You know what? I know it's crazy. Quarterback. Deion Walker's right there, and that's a guy that I've been talking about. Dude's a fucking monster. So far, we got a running back, we got a defensive interior, we got a quarterback. Guard. No. Nope. Go linebacker here. I want to see a grade as soon as we finish this. This dude is still there. All right. See what we got, guys. Got a B on this one. Mason Graham, Cam Scatterboo. We took our quarterback in the third round with Jalen Milroe, who actually, he's probably going to be there. He's probably going to be a guy that's pulled like late first, early second from a lot of projections recently. But again, take into consideration the Senior Bowl, take into consideration the Combine. We went guard with Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. We went Barrett Carter, the linebacker out of Clemson. We went wide receiver Antwain Wells Jr. out of Ole Miss. Fentrell Cypress II out of Florida State at corner. Edge, David Walker out of Central Arkansas. Raheem Sanders out of South Carolina. And Shiloh Sanders, safety out of Colorado. Grades, guys. They gave me a B. What would you guys give it? Let me get back to the main screen. We still got over 350 in here. We lost a couple with that mock draft. I apologize, guys. C, B, A+. Yeah, I know you're capping. B, Geno Smith signing. B, was Booker token? I think so. B, C+, Milrow will outshine AOC and camp easily. B, C, I really like Scatterboo. C+, C, B. If this was wasted draft, F, oh my God. B, C+. Shout out to Phoenix Magnus. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Welcome to the family. All right. So I think we covered, damn, we went up over almost 40 today. You guys have really, really outdone yourselves the last, I want to say 3 or 4 lives. Like, we have gone up. We hit 10K last Wednesday, if I remember correctly. And you guys have just continued to be here, have continued to grow, see a lot of new people in here. And it really means the world to me. Like, you guys have no idea. Appreciate everybody that pulled on up. I still can't believe I did an hour and a half solo again. Shout out to Joe Arrigo for calling in. Shout out to the Demon King, Jason Hunter, for calling in. We covered a lot. We talked a lot. And we also had to fight about agism. I'll never understand that. But anyways, guys, me and Grab for trying to finalize everything for the Babyface Heels podcast for all you wrestling heads. I think we're at 60 subscribers right now on that channel. We did separate and create our own wrestling channel, the Babyface Heels podcast. If somebody, one of my mods, if you can put it in the chat right now. We want to get to 100. I think we're going to be live this coming Saturday night for Saturday night's main event. And then it should just be like clockwork. Monday, Raw. Friday, SmackDown. Next weekend is the Royal Rumble. We're definitely doing that. That's officially the start of the road to WrestleMania. Royal Rumble has always been one of my favorite all-time PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call it. So make sure to hit the subscribe button for that channel if you guys are real wrestling heads. We do not talk Raiders on that channel. It's strictly wrestling. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys want to be in for that. We will be doing recaps as well the day after some of the events. I'm going to try my best to be on Friday. We'll do the free agency Friday, the very first one. I should have did it last week, and I apologize for that. Some point next week, I'm thinking probably the day after we do Raw. It's my birthday next Tuesday. So I want to do a birthday live. And I want everybody to pull on up. Let's have a good time. Let's try to blow it up again and grow even more. We have really been on a run this last week. Again, we are up. We hit 10,000 last Wednesday, and we're almost at 10,100 already. So I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. You know what? Let me try to get the link real quick for you guys. Let me get there, and I will put it out in the chat real quickly before we wrap this up. Excuse me. I wasn't sure if Wasted was going on tonight, so I was really trying to be careful about me going on. Here we go. Putting it in chat for you guys right this second. There it is, guys. You see it right there. I'll even highlight it in front and center for you guys. YouTube.com/@BabyfacedHeelsPodcast. Please, again, if you guys are big WWE fans, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 100 as quickly as possible. Again, we're waiting for the intro to be completed, but we're definitely going to be on for Saturday night's main event, so make sure to subscribe as quickly as possible. I think I covered everything. Again, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all tonight for pulling on up. We've been on for an hour and a half. Salute to just subscribe for the algorithm. There you go. On your way out, if you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub. Salute to you, Jesse. Crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house that Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie. Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. And of course, as always on my New York. Shh. Uh-oh. That ain't it. Peace, love, and positivity. And yeah, this part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
We outro, y'all. Have a great night.